All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Life Jacket, where we talk about topics that help you overcome the waves of life. We appreciate you guys again checking in with us. Today, we're going to be talking about habits and how they make you and who you are. But before we dive in, we always go over our win for the week. So, Bless, what was your win for the week this week?
Absolutely. Win for the week. So I meal prepped. I meal prepped this week. I've been having trouble getting down to cooking for at least, 3 to 4 days of the week. And so it helps you. You have to cook every day. It gives you more time to do things throughout the day and accomplish more goals. So for me, that was my win because I've been slacking on that and I finally got it done. What about you?
My big win for the week is I got invited to this big networking event. And it was like you had to get a ticket. And luckily, somebody I knew, they gave me a free ticket, so
Oh,
I was
wow.
able to really go in, do some great networking. Specifically for like entrepreneurship. So I was able to talk about my life coaching business and things that I'm doing there. And so it was a blessing because the tickets sold out and they were not cheap. It was like an open bar kind of event.
Mm.
And so, luckily I was able to get in. That was a huge win, made some great connections. So
Yeah.
like I said, we always start the podcast out with a win for the week. We really emphasize wins, man. Make sure you're counting your wins. I know there's a lot of negativity going on in the world. There's a lot of things like people always look at like what's going wrong, bad in your life, but make sure you count your wins. So let's dive into habits. Habits are, who we are. So what do you think about habits specifically?
Oh man, habits. Habits really they can be good or bad, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're an involuntary act that is your lifestyle, right? So when you wake up in the morning, most people, I'd hope, brush their teeth, right? So
Yeah.
you wake up, you brush your teeth. You don't think about doing that. You just do it. And so that's now a habit. Some people have bad habits, like they don't brush their teeth, right? And
Right.
so if you think about that, with habits over time, they tend to either put you in a positive light or a negative light. So, like I said, easy example, brushing your teeth in the morning. If you don't brush your teeth in the morning and don't have that habit, throughout time, what's going to happen? Your teeth are going to rot. You're going to have to get dentures. You're going to have to, whatever the case may be, but it's not a positive habit to have. And then the same thing with if you do brush your teeth in the morning, you go to the dentist, you don't worry about cavities, you don't got to worry about getting extra work done. They go and check, good to go. And so it's that, like I said, I think it's that involuntary act that creates your lifestyle. And so there's many different types of habits that we can have and that we obtain.
Yeah, I think habits are like really key in life, and identifying your good and your bad habits. I think a lot of time, people, they keep doing the same thing and then they're not realizing it's your habits. Like, for example, I think this was something I even started out when I was start to go to the gym. I would always pack my gym bag the night before because I knew if I got up, I wouldn't want to pack my gym bag. I wouldn't want to lay my clothes out. I wouldn't want to get ready to go to the gym. So the next day I'll be like, oh, my gym bag's not packed. Oh, I don't really feel like going to the gym today. And so like it's habits. Like I'd make sure, okay, my gym bag was packed every day. I think another thing I started doing too was I was drinking a lot of soda, obtaining a lot of sugar. And I was like, okay, like what's a good habit that's going to help me not drink soda? I'm not gonna have any in my house. Because if it's there and I see it, I'm gonna want to drink some, whether it's like with a good meal, etc. And so I think that if you're trying to break bad habits, you have to make sure that you're replacing it with like a good habit. Like you have to do that. If for example, with me, if I didn't like soda in the house, I replace it with water or like juice, like slowly trying to wean myself off. Like I didn't like going to the gym. So one thing I hated doing was like packing a gym bag. So I would pack it the night before. So making sure like you're replacing old habits with good habits, that'll help you kind of get to where you want to go.
Absolutely. And then also like stacking habits. I remember actually when you were you were walking on the treadmill and you were learning Spanish at the same time. And so that's something I like was started to do. I was like, hey, I want to read 10 minutes
Yeah.
or 10 to 15 minutes a day on a book, but also want to ride my bike in the basement. So while I'm riding, I'm doing the 10 to 15 minutes and I'm riding at the same time.
Right.
And so habits are super important. So like for instance, like on your day-to-day basis, what are your habits? Like when you wake up in the morning, give us a little breakdown of what you do and the habits that you have.
Okay. I wake up, I just listen to like a gospel music for like 5 to 10 minutes, like a song or two. Then I'll pray. Like that's really like helped me get my days going really, really strong and really productive. I would just listen and I would pray. After I do that, I would take a shower, wash my face, moisturize my face, go through the whole skincare routine, etc. Make sure I'm doing that. And then I would look at my phone and then I would open like I spent like the first 30 to 45 minutes of the day like on me, like making sure I'm good. I
Yeah, you have
pray,
to.
do that stuff. Then I'm not waking up and getting on Tinder and Hinge, figure out who's swiped and like checking my Outlook email. Like I'm cool.
Yeah,
Like let me
absolutely.
do something I want to do at the beginning of the day, like to just get my day going, making sure I'm feeling good, I'm refreshed. And so like I would do those habits. It's kind of like how I would start out my day, and then I would transition to like my day because even like in your mornings, that's like the only time you're gonna have to yourself.
Yeah,
After that,
realistically.
like you're out in the world, you're working or you're around people all day. So like I want to
Yeah.
make sure like I'm spending the my mornings really productive. How about you? How do you start off your days?
It's super similar. Super similar. Like
Right.
usually it's Alexa that's waking me up, and then once I stop my alarm, it actually automatically goes into like Donnie McClurkin radio on
Really?
Pandora. So
Facts, nah.
I'm still
Facts.
listening to like the gospel music and stuff like that, and it's like going throughout the whole house. So like the skin care routine, brushing my teeth, going to the bathroom, whatever the case may be, and then I end up looking at what I wrote down the night before of what I want to accomplish. So I have like a little whiteboard in my house, and right before I go to bed, I write down everything that I want to do for the next day. So as soon as I wake up, listen to the music, stuff like that, I look at that and I'm like, all right, I'm going to accomplish all this stuff. And sometimes you might not. Sometimes you might not, but I'll do that and then I'll start my workday. That's my habit for me because it's like it's creating that openness and
Right.
and it's creating a mindset of like what you need to actually get done. And I always try to my schedule is a little bit different. So I don't have like a 9 to 5. I'll tell you when I said this. But like most of the time, like I kind of get up hopefully like an hour and a half before I have to leave the house. So that for me, that gives me enough time to do everything I need to do, regardless if it's I need to leave the house at 10. I'm up an hour and a half prior and so on and so forth. So that's kind of like my habits just for the morning.
No, yeah, that's good. And speaking of that, before I even do all that, I have a Panda planner. Shout out Darius Jr. They're in my group. Like I plan all my day. I plan my day out. Like that's something I do again before I get on my phone. Like I write down everything that needs to be done. At that, like planning your day, I'm telling you, like if you're gonna take one thing away, plan your days. That is a habit. I'm telling you, if you like write down everything you need to do for the day, and you slowly check everything off, like you'll start seeing how productive your days really are, and like your days become weeks, become months. I'm telling you, like I'm like so efficient and productive ever since I started planning my days. So definitely please make sure like you're taking the time out to plan your days. Get a Panda planner. No, they're not sponsored, but like it's a great planner to get to really get your days lined up. So definitely like planning your days, that's such a great habit you can do.
Absolutely. And then even like to caveat for that, like even with like on your planner, if you have like certain things you want to accomplish, I think if you write them down from like 1 to 10 of like the most important thing you want to get done,
Right.
and the least important thing you want to get done,
Right.
you'll end up spending more time on the things that you want to get done more importantly, instead of trying to like spread your time as thin as possible. Because if you get 50% or 25% done of 10 different things, you've got nothing accomplished, right? So if you 100% knock it out, is done, and so on and so forth. And so like in regards to habits, it's crazy how they can build. Like you have say you have two twins, right? And they got the same, body structure, whatever. They're twins, and two male twins, and they go throughout their life, and one is like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, and I'm gonna read a self-help book, and I'm gonna listen to some good music that gets me into the mindset. And then you got the other twin that's like, nah, I'm just gonna order, pizza and eat wings. I'm too lazy to go to the gym after work because I'm tired.
Yeah, right.
And forget reading self-help. I'm gonna watch TV.
Right.
What kind of difference do you think those two people are going to have?
Drastic. Is this going to be a complete difference? And even if you look at it, like even from like Atomic Habits, the book, like Habit is so crazy. When you walk in a dark room, you automatically turn the light on. that's a habit you automatically do. And some people, when y'all wake up, what's the first thing you do? You grab your phone. That's a habit that has like been programmed in you. It's crazy. Like when you get into a car, you turn the car on. Like this, like it's habits you don't realize that like are really real. And if you don't like take a survey of your life and reflect like, okay, where are the habits that I'm doing, then you'll start to pick up like, okay, like I should stop picking up my phone the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning. Or like I've realized like after I get done using the bathroom, like you wash your hands automatically. Habit.
Yeah.
That's been programmed in you. At least I hope you are. If you're not, you're a little dirty. But like for real, like we don't realize like how much some of these habits like we're accustomed to without even thinking.
Yeah. So what habit do you think you've started? Like what's like a new habit that ended up kind of making you who you are today? So like I guess I'll go over for me, for instance. Like I think a habit that I've done is I go to the gym. Right. I think that's probably one of the easiest habits that I've created in my life. And,
Right.
and throughout there, like the first time you go to the gym, you don't really know what you're doing. And the second time, okay, you're going a little bit better. You're getting a little bit stronger or whatever the case may be. You're hitting those goals. And then later down the line, you got people asking you, hey man, what do you do? How do you do it? Or something like that. And I think that for me, like that's like a habit that I've just obtained. It feels foreign if I don't do something.
Yeah, I think a habit I picked up literally recently, maybe like a month ago, was like running. I hated running. Like, oh my God, I'll be so out of breath. I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing all this. But then like what I would do, I would walk. But sometimes like you need to be more efficient, not easy. Like you have to be uncomfortable. Like I could walk 5 miles in an hour and a half, or I could run 5 miles in 45, 50 minutes. And sometimes, like you say, sometimes it's not about what's easy, what's efficient. That's 45 minutes of my day I get back. So like I would just slowly like grind and get myself to running that. And it's uncomfortable and I didn't want to do it. And a habit I would do is I bought running shoes and I would pack them in my gym bag. So like I would look at my gym bag, there are my running shoes. Okay, I gotta go run. Or what I do is like I'll walk into the gym with my gym bag and go straight to the treadmill.
Yeah.
So it'll force me to start running.
Absolutely.
So it's stuff like that. Like in some of these habits, man, like, and that's like a good habit. That's going to help my cardiovascular. That's going to help me in so many areas because I'm starting to run and I'm doing something that's uncomfortable. And a lot of times, you know, people, they don't want to get uncomfortable, but sometimes like a habit will make you uncomfortable. A good habit, it's going to make you uncomfortable. That's life. You can't be comfortable forever. So that's a habit like I'm really excited. I'm actually gonna do a 5K soon.
Absolutely. That's cool.
So definitely excited about that. So yeah, that's where I would go with that.
Absolutely. So I think our viewers, they like our point that we're trying to get across is like at the end of your day or at the end of your week or something, start looking at your days and really writing down every single thing you do throughout the day. And then when you do that, start comparing notes. So okay, every morning I brush my teeth. That's something that's created as a habit. But then something like, well, after dinner, I play video games for 3 hours, right? And then at the end of the week, you're questioning yourself saying, well, why can't I get this done? Or why haven't I done that? And it's because that habit that after dinner, you're occupying your time with something that necessarily isn't productive because you're trying to be productive. You need to start incorporating that good habit. Like you were saying, like you got to slowly start build. So if you say, hey, I want to read a chapter every single day. Well, granted, you might still want to play video games. So why don't you read that chapter and then play the video games after? Or read 10 minutes and play video games for X amount of time or something like that.
Right.
And start incorporating that habits into your lifestyle. So that way you got to make it easy.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I think people, they just want to like shut things off and turn it off and think it's going to happen overnight. Nothing, unless you win the lottery, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
And the thing is, if you win the lottery, most people go bankrupt or whatever the case may be because they have bad spending habits. But that's for a different topic.
Exactly.
But nothing happens necessarily overnight. And so look at yourself, look at your day, look at your schedule, and realize what you're doing consistently. And realize and question yourself to say, is this something that's making me better or is this something that's making me worse? Can I change this? can I not change this? And so this is going to allow you to be able to adapt to your, like, to switch your habits into the more positives to get you where you want to be realistically.
And here's two other habits that I know y'all do this. When that Outlook email goes off, you look right at your phone. When that Microsoft Teams message goes off, you look right at your phone. So sometimes you got to turn that off. Like for me, I turn my Outlook notifications. Oh, I don't want to hear no noise. I check my email like twice a day because you'll always respond. Like it's like a robot. Look, let me respond, or let me respond. Like that's a habit. You've been conditioned into that habit. So sometimes you gotta. How do you break that habit? Turn off the noise on your phone, or turn off the notification sound when you get an email, and just check your email like twice, 3 times a day. Your coworkers, they be all right. They'll be cool. Like they'll get over it. Like, cause it's a habit you're not even realize you're doing. And even going back to this analogy with the video games, because I like to play video games too. So what I'll do is after a certain amount of time, like I'll get off, I just unplug my Xbox. Or like I take my controller to another room. That way it'll wean you off the video games for so long. So it's like, you also have to make sure, like when you're trying to break these habits, like make sure you're doing something. If you really can't break it, like sometimes you got to go extreme, like unplug completely, take apart your Xbox or PlayStation and put it up so that you can't just hop on and plug it and just play right away. So it's like, and that goes with anything, like making sure, like if you're trying to break a bad habit, like make sure like you're doing everything you can do to break that.
Yeah, and make it easy as possible. So I think it was definitely a good discussion in regards to, we kind of identified what a habit is and identified that kind of creates your lifestyle. It does. Yeah. And that habits are, when long-term habits can create either a positive or a negative result.
Yeah.
And then we talked about switching like a bad habit into a good habit, and also making it easy. Like you don't want to, like we said, no, things don't happen overnight. So we want to make sure that those habits become easy. And then those bad habits, like you said, be extreme. Yeah. Like I remember I got caught in watching what was that, Reacher on Amazon Prime, and I was like, oh my god, I need to stop.
You'll start binging. You'll look up, it's 4 or 5 hours later, you'll be like, damn, like what the hell?
And 2 o'clock in the morning,
and that'll be a habit. It'll be a habit. You'll come home, you sit on your couch, you'll turn on Reacher. That could be a habit real quick. It'll turn right into a habit. It
was, and the sad part about it is I'll stay up 2 o'clock in the morning and watch that, but I won't stay up 2 o'clock in the morning trying to find more leads for something that I actually want to do in my life. Yeah. And so, like trying to transfer that is really and definitely important in that regards.
No, yeah, definitely, I agree. So make sure, like he was saying, like take the time out, like after this episode, if you're listening, like really figure out what your habits are and write them down too, and then you can start doing check, minus, plus. Figure out what are your good habits, what are your bad habits, and then start taking that time out to really do this. And I know it sounds like really cliche, but like dead ass, like you're not where you're at right now because some of these habits are like really hurting you, and you're not realizing your daily habits that you're doing. So make sure that you're taking the time out to really do that.
Absolutely. So once again, we're glad that you watched our episode of the Life Jacket. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, put it on your social media, whatever the case may be. But if you know somebody that is struggling with habits, and bad habits at that, show them this video. Maybe they'll get something good from it. And, hopefully you got something good from this. Anything else you'd like to say?
And one takeaway I'm going to give y'all too, before I dive into why you need to be sharing this with people, make sure that you're definitely self-improving every day. Not just in habits, just in life. I was actually talking to my boy this week, and he was literally just saying, like, he's like, man, I see you're really, you're on your life coaching page, you're really posting consistently. And I'm like, yeah, like that's a habit I got. I started posting consistently because I want to self-improve. Like self-improvement is consistency as well. Like you have to consistently keep doing what you want to do, whether that's you're in the gym, whether that's you want to get better at cooking, whether that's you want to get better at reading, being, podcasting, anything in life. You have to constantly keep self-improving. And so make sure you're taking at least an hour out of your day to self-improve or enjoying something that you really like to do and keep getting better at it. So do you have anything you want to, any takeaways, or are you good?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, so back to my rant. Listen, make sure you are subscribing, following. I'm watching the views. I'm gonna watch it. Make sure you're sharing it. I'm gonna find out if y'all are watching this and not showing us no support. It takes 2 seconds, but for real though, please make sure you share us with somebody that this would be helpful. And that's it. So we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
6:45 on the